Hello and welcome to the Dinosaw number 247, another 7 curious, interesting things I saw last week. So as ever, let's crack on. First one is from Tech, and this is in China, and it is a robot, wait for it, that grows. It uses pneumatics to do this, and it's mimicking human bones and muscles. Now, the point is it can transform. So if you do want to get it through interesting shapes, then you can do, for instance, under furniture. But it can also walk with its inflated muscles, and they've figured out how to do that. It can also walk without its inflated muscles, which is quite comedic as well. So I do appreciate whoever stuck some floppy arms on this robot. It can also float and lots of things besides. Now, why would you want this? Well, first of all, it transforms. So it can go through tricky shapes. Maybe you're inspecting industrial plants, whatnot. But also imagine if you want a small robot that over its lifetime you want to grow, you want to mimic humanoids or animals, that sort of thing. Now we're getting there, so that's interesting. This is instant 3D printing. It is an upgrade to some current versions of it. You might not know about this. So if you do know about a little bit about 3D printing, you'll know it's pretty time consuming, and it is layer by layer by layer. This does it instantly. So if you're into resin printing, so usually what you do is you get a vat of goop, a resin goop, and you solidify layer by layer by layer using light. So what this technique does is it creates a hologram inside that vat of goop, plastic goop, and it solidifies the entire model at the same time. And it can do that in 0.6 seconds. So 3D printing entire models in less than a second. And it does it with incredible accuracy, so 12 micrometers resolution. Now we can only print small stuff at the moment, so about a centimeter, but imagine 3D printing any object almost instantly. This is the holy grail. So we're starting to see that come to fruition. Very exciting. This is a new MIDI controller. I will shut up and let you listen to it. There you go, how exciting is that? So this is the Sway MIDI controller. It is available to purchase. It is from Australia. And now, if you don't know what a MIDI controller is, you can use MIDI controllers to control other instruments, play music, that sort of thing. But you can also use it to control DJ equipment and lights or whatever you want to do. So this is just showing you a new way of doing that. Very expressive, kind of like that, kind of funky. Well done. Now, this is just one of those general things. You probably have seen a lot of things going on in America right now, and a lot of European, especially governments, are moving away from using American companies. So, you know, things like Zoom and Teams, and especially Microsoft, those are essentially the data is somewhere else, and it also gets sniffed at by foreign now slightly unpredictable government, should we say, in America. So the big shift in Europe is moving away from those. So this is La Suite, or Visio, which is the product name, and this is what France will be using. And it has all of these different things. So it has messaging apps, it has a video conferencing app, it essentially has things like Dropbox type of things, has chat, has all sorts of things. So so that's being used by the big authorities and whatnot. Now Austria are also doing it. Their military cannot now use a Microsoft Office. Germany are doing the same with not using Microsoft for emails as well. So this rise of what they call sovereign identity, or sovereign digital identity, or sovereign clouds. So each country has their own data. So if you didn't know that's going on, it is going on, and France seems to be well ahead of everybody else. If you didn't see this last week, this is amazing. So this is the Spring Festival Gala in China. And there were, you might just see 1 or 2 robots, but apparently there were 4 types of robots in there. I can only really see 2, to be fair. The Unitree one and the Magic Lab robots. What you're seeing here is the Unitree ones, and there's like a big red one at the end, which is the Magic Lab one. Apparently there were 2 others. However, it just shows you, if you saw this last year when they did have some robots in it, the robots were still doing that weird sort of, they look like they need a poo and pretty slow, but look at them now. So this is pretty amazing. So yeah. If you are a robot manufacturer, and there are thousands and thousands of robot companies in China, and apparently the sales volume jumped by 150% after this performance. So people have gone, do you know what, I think they can actually be useful for something. That's pretty good. So do click the video link below and watch the full thing, because it is, I mean, just look at that. That's just incredible. There you go. This is AdGazer. This is a research paper. Now, you may have seen things, models that can look at adverts and tell you how good they're going to be and whether they're, going to get the user's attention or not. And this is a new model that looks at the context within the advert as well, or where the advert is, and also will then predict where the advert needs to go for the ultimate brand uplift. What they call ad gaze is like who's going to actually look at it, and also brand gaze is actually how many people are going to understand and get an uplift from the brand as well. So apparently it's 80% accurate. So essentially what it does is it looks at what it is. It uses a large language model to then understand the context of the page. It then predicts where it should go, how long the user is going to look at it, and it then figures out the best place for the ad. So the ad has 33% impact on what they think about the ad. So so we're now sort of starting to look not only whether the ad is going to be good, but where should it be on the page as well. So this might be a shift slightly in how advertising works in the internet of the future, where the placement needs to be relatively dynamic as well. And finally, meet Iris. Iris is let's say one of the growing number of tech-sniffing dogs. Now, you might notice that Iris has lost a leg. She's now been retired. Unfortunately, she had cancer in her leg. She's now got a kind of a leg prosthetic, but that's not the story. The story is that there are now these dogs that can specifically smell tech. Now, what the point of this is obviously if you are a hoodlum, you're a criminal and you're hiding, for instance, data drives with bitcoins on it, that sort of thing, thumb drives, mobile phones in prisons, detonators for bombs. They now have dogs that are specifically trained to sniff out tech. So what would you do with your tech-sniffing dog? But well done, Iris. Love Iris. She's great. There's a new dog, by the way, the trainer, this is Agent Jeff Calandra, has now got a new trainee looking to take over Iris's role. So there you go. Very exciting. Hopefully that was interesting. Hopefully it was useful. If it was, give it a like, and I'll see you next week.